The Shawshank Redemption, in my opinion, is one of the best movies I've ever watched, and it's chocked full of iconic moments that have gone down in cinema history, but I want to talk about one of the most iconic being Andy Dufresne's actual escape. So I'm going to be talking about how it's so iconic with its use of lighting, camera height, and camera distance through three different, I call, acts of this escape. So let's jump right into it. So this first act of Andy in his cell is where I find the lighting to be so prominent and good. There's very, very, very hard shadows here, and I think that's the key or the essence of this feeling of that we're about to do something that we're not supposed to do, of him taking his shirt off and then the cut to him putting all of his items, which were right in the light beforehand, into the darkness with him, into the bag that he'll take with him onto the escape. And of course, in that shot beforehand and in the shot of him putting it in the bag, we have the light coming through the bars onto the wall of his cell, while at the same time lightning flashes from outside. So you get this feeling of that on the left side, it's the prison. It's that cell that he's so used to, but on the right side, there's freedom, which he's about to get to. During that first sequence, we're very intimate with the camera angle. We're very front-facing with Andy, or we're facing directly in front of him, or we're facing towards him. And then obviously we get the iconic crawl that Andy goes down. It's him crawling towards us. We're not following behind him. We weren't there for his struggles. No, we're watching him crawl out of this abyss that he's been stuck in. And with this scene transition, we switch to my second point of being camera height and angle. We switch from this intimate style to now we're in this maintenance shaft or what have you, where we're at a very rigid point. There's not a lot of room for movement here. You can basically either be on either side of Andy. So we're initially at his backside here, where the lighting is still, of course, very hard. We have this light over him now, just basking his top in light, while the bottom of him is still incredibly dark as he climbs down this maintenance shaft. So we have this long tracking shot of Andy climbing all the way down the shaft to the very bottom, in which we finally, after viewing him from this back so long, this disconnected point of view, we finally make our way back to him, breaking the 180-degree rule by going directly to his front, where we get another one of these close and intimate shots. All of a sudden, we're behind Andy, almost like it's a crime scene. We're coming up on him, just striking this pipe to get it open, but we still cut back to him. We go back to a flat angle as we look up as Andy goes down, in which we now get the second tracking shot, which is a lot slower now that we get this feel of what Andy's crawling through, and just this struggle of he has a long way to go, but he's not going to give up. It may be hard, but he's going to get to the other side. And here, right on that shot, is where we transition to my third point of that being camera distance. This whole sequence is brilliant of it, but I really like this first shot because we have this very wide view of this entire complex of that seems near impossible to escape off of, and we pan down to a very close angle of Andy now as he just crawls and throws himself out of the pipe into the river. And unlike before, we're not very close to Andy. We're no longer confined to a cell or a maintenance shaft. No, we're free. We're outside. So there's no need to be completely up in his business or right next to him. We're free now. I get the feeling of this shot of more of us watching Andy now. We're no longer following him. We're more just seeing what he does. We don't have to follow so closely to him now. We can just watch him and see what he does. But eventually he does get right up in the camera, but it's not really like that we're experiencing exactly what he's feeling. In fact, we don't even see everything in that frame. But then we finally cut and we pan up. There's so much space around Andy now. And the camera goes up and up and up and up. It finally stops. Just cementing how proud and grateful Andy is that he finally is free.